Now, with just 20 days until Election Day, millennials may not come out to the polls, we're being told. There are 69.2 million eligible voters between the ages of 18 and 34. But voter enthusiasm for this group is just not there. Joining us right now is the Washington Examiner contributor Lisa Boothe to talk more about it. Lisa, good to see you.
Hi, Maria. Good morning.
What's going on with millennials right now? Are they not excited or enthused to come out and vote?
Yeah, I just don't feel like they don't feel inspired. I mean, and President Obama, millennials really did propel President Obama to victory in 2008 and 2012. And that is a problem for Hillary Clinton because she's not resonating with them. She's not connecting with them. And I think for Hillary Clinton, the biggest problem for her is sort of the lack of authenticity and the fact that she just isn't real. I mean, she's been on every side of every issue. And I think they just can't get on board with that. It's been a problem for her.
That it was a record 50% of millennials, Anthony Scaramucci, that came out for Obama in 2008.
Yeah, so my question actually is then, is it ageism or is it issue related? Meaning these are two 70-year-old candidates. Is that the turnoff? Or is it related to the issues?
But you got to think about it too. Bernie Sanders was getting 70-something% with millennials in the Democratic primary, right? And he would have been the oldest president we would have ever had if he was to have won the Democratic primary and went on to the White House. So I don't necessarily think it's an issue of age per se. I think it's just the fact that Hillary Clinton, they don't feel like Hillary Clinton is authentic. And to Donald Trump, he really hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, he has talked about the issues, but he really hasn't done a whole lot to connect with millennials. I mean, he's had Ivanka Trump out there and his kids out there as well. But, I don't really think he's done enough to try to connect with them either.
I think that the thing that's also true about what you say is that it's all being confirmed on a daily basis by all these WikiLeaks that are coming out, and that's likely to depress it even further because they can see how it all works in the world of Clinton, which is literally this calculating politician, no real clear convictions, no real mission for changing the country other than whatever is politically convenient, and that's what's being shown by all these WikiLeaks.
Well, and absolutely, I mean, you're dead on, and that speaks to the lack of inauthenticity, the fact that this is a candidate who literally says in her private speeches that there is one public Hillary Clinton and there is another private Hillary Clinton, and she's two different people depending on what audience she speaks to.
But everybody
Wall
that,
Street,
though, right?
trade, immigration.
Yeah. You know what? We talked to millennials on the University of Nevada campus. They say that they want to hear about the issues that are important to the American people. They said they want to hear those issues tonight. Listen to this.
I guess I'd like to hear them discuss more about foreign policy, especially more from Donald Trump's side, because I feel like I don't hear too much about what he talks about with his foreign policy.
What are you most worried about?
Like political-wise?
Yeah.
Probably like immigration, the border.
What are you hoping to hear from the candidates?
Fully answered questions.
Honestly, I think the big thing about this one is just respect. These candidates aren't respected.
I'm probably looking to hear, I know it's a debate, but the problem with this year's presidential candidates is that they're arguing who did more wrong and who committed the most crimes, who did this, who did that. I'm trying to hear more like what they're going to do for the country rather than just like bringing out all the flaws that each other has.
Look, I totally agree with that. After the first debate, I tweeted out, am I wrong to be totally disappointed in this, that we're not even hearing about the issues? I think, Fox News polls show national support among millennial voters at only 28% for Trump, Clinton 37%. So if they stop attacking each other and start talking about what's important to this group, will they gain the millennial support?
That's to be seen. I mean, I think I hope tonight at the presidential debate, I mean, I believe Chris Wallace will get them to focus on the issues. We'll ask tough questions. We'll get them to talk about it. But I think a problem for it, too, is that the mainstream media hasn't really been interested in the issues. I mean, you look at just the sheer coverage that even the audio tape that came out, I think it's like 7 hours or something on CBS, NBC, ABC, but they're not covering the WikiLeaks information, for instance. And so there really is a lack of information, or at least a lack of the important information. And yes, we should be holding candidates accountable in character and judgment, but both sides should be represented, and there should be an equal, judgment of both candidates and an equal amount of information out there about both of them.
Lisa, is it too late for the millennials, though, or they've already checked out?
Well, I'm interested to see if they turn out, right? I mean, because I think that's a big problem for millennials as well, is just the fact of, are they even going to show up to go vote? And I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to be enthusiastic enough.
I think one thing that Trump can do to potentially win them over is go back to this talk, which you saw a little bit about yesterday when he was talking about term limits and so on, that the whole system that controls the economy and government in Washington is corrupt and needs changing. That's the message that Sanders very successfully put over, and I think that Trump's much more credible on that than she is. Now, the story of this campaign is that when the conversation is on the issues, he does better. And it's Clinton that's tried to get it
to take him off message for that reason.
He's been very good at that, keeping him off message.
And so if he can do that tonight, you know, there's still all to play for, I think.
And you're so right. And that's why it's so important for Donald Trump tonight to not get lured in by Hillary Clinton into the mud. He needs to stay out of the mud, because you're so right. In polling, he does so much better when he is talking about the issues, when he is talking about, you know, trade, when he's talking about the economy, when he's talking about education and school choice. That is when he does better. When he allows Hillary Clinton to bring him into the mud, that's when his poll numbers take a dive.
Absolutely. By the way, do you think they really think they're going to get free college?
I hope not, because there's been studies that have shown, I think Federal Reserve Bank of New York, that showed that for every dollar that the federal government pumps into the system, college tuition gets raised by $3 because they know it's going to be subsidized and paid for.
I'm going back to college. I do. I think I'm getting it.
It's not
I want
go
some
to
of that.
Yeah, it's not too late. We'll go to grad school.